All right, how we doing, folks? Let's dive into some standard best format Magic the Gathering. We are playing some Sultai fish this morning. This is blue-green Merfolk with a small black splash. So in the main deck, I've got a couple hostage of Hostage Taker and then a bunch of copies of Fine Finality as both a pseudo sweeper and a way to grind some card advantage out. The black splash is mostly free, since we would otherwise just be playing basic lands over these Overgrown Tombs and Woodland Cemeteries and Watery Grave and Drowned Catacomb, so free-ish. I had a couple of resubs there. I'm back because I forgot to cancel my Amazon Prime. Thanks for the 18 months, Griffin said. And Corey, thanks for the 13-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Niv with the Tree Fitty. I'll popping it up. I'll donate 5 of my favorite Canadian dollars to cheer you up. Thanks, Niv. All right, let's pop on in here, shall we? How should I spend money to acquire cards, draft, or packs? If you enjoy playing limited, you should play limited. If you don't enjoy playing limited, you should just buy booster packs. I personally don't enjoy playing limited, so I just buy booster packs and open them. Ranked is currently only best of 1. That is correct. Remember when I said the splash is free? Okay, it's not 100% free, but I think this is a keep. Hopefully we rip a basic forest or a shock land here on 1. All right, not the green shock land, but I'll do it a pinch. It's a lot of swamps, opponent. Chromatic black, okay. Our hand here isn't amazing for being against Chromatic black here game 1. Although I guess I do have Hostage Taker to steal this lantern. So do I want to play this turn? Do I want to just jam this, or do I want to play the Speaker? There's a good chance they have Ritual of Soot next turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the Speaker out here, I think, rather than play my my Kumena out into it. Those are my favorite. It's my opinion that you shouldn't have enforced your channel rules. Fuck off. Sorry, I'm worked up. We're gonna go back to not swearing and just banning people that break the rules. This card, hidden mode. This card can take artifacts.
Are you certain of your decision?
Have a swamp. Alright, you attack there.
My retribution will be swift.
Silvergill, show you this one. Play a land named Merfolk.
I'll make use of that later.
For people asking what happened to Spirits, we had too many backseat gamers this morning, so I'm just going to leave it in the queue and we'll start with it next time we do Modern. Thanks for the bits, Nick. Sorry to cut Spirits short. It'll stay in the queue and we'll start with that next time. The autocomplete on territory only lists creatures in your deck. However, you can get anything with it if you want. Do I hostage taker this and then crack Karn for 4 here? Yeah, the YouTube content just doesn't make any money, unfortunately, so it's just not something that's gonna be. It's not gonna be something that happens. Do I want to play fine? I think I want to add more pressure to the table. Is find what I want to do. Cause like their sweeper is Ritual of Soot, right? So like if they ritual, I keep the hostage takers. So I think I'm just gonna play the Wildgrowth Walker here. So they have a lot of mana, so this makes 5, and this jumps it 2 to 7. So they have 8, 9 mana at the moment.
We should discuss our plan. Your patience is rewarded.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Contempt so they can get their Josu back here. Makes a lot of sense. Yep. So this is probably getting a sweeper of some sort here. So this taps 3 Merfolk to draw a card. So next turn I can go Branchwalker into Kumena, draw a card. Land's not a bad pickup. They probably got a sweeper, right? So I'm actually going to hold off on playing the Deeproot Elite to play around Ritual of Soot here. Just going to draw some cards while we go a little bit wide here, ideally. The splash is extra fruit when you hostage take your land turn, you're not wrong. So I have, let's do this, show them the Kumena that they know about. Stay there. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to play the Elite out this turn or not. I wasn't sure what my sequencing was going to be. It might also be right to stack the counter on here. I want to get this Branchwalker big enough to attack through this 4-5. I can stay right where it's at. So this taps 5 to put a 1 counter each Merfolk I control. We got a whole lot of nothing going on over there, huh? It's ideal for us. I just like sit here and draw cards. That's pretty good. Well. Do I have lethal? How do I have lethal? If I pick up the Mist-Cloaked, they're taking this. I didn't just play this. This would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can attack for 12 because they block here, and then they take 5, 7, 12. Yeah, we're close, but we're not lethal. That's gonna smack them. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. And another one would get enough counters in there. I don't know if they have any removal spell in their hand. Like, I feel like there's not a reason to push lethal here, right? Like, is there some big incentive for me to, like, have lethal this turn? And, like, be super aggressive and, like, not kill them to a removal spell and, like, not have my find Finality. People are right that if my opponent had nothing, playing the second Merfolk meant I could have killed them. I don't know. They're gonna, like, draw something and punish me for playing it safe. Alright. What's the best card in your deck? Man, look at that. That egotistical, I know better because I've been playing Magic longer than you. That's just not welcome here. You can bugger right on off with that. This is very, very rude. I think it's just Jadelight. Hey, Chris Campbell, thanks so much for Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. So now I play Branchwalker and then Kumena. The finds just give this deck such good grind power. Just lots of card advantage. We got Ritual of Studded twice this game. We got Golden Demised on 3 and just like powered right through, just didn't care. Gruesome Menagerie, negate Duress, maybe Vivian Reed. So I don't actually think Hostage Shaker's that good in this matchup, even though it was okay there, obviously. Kumena Speaker is a little clunky. Wildgrowth Walker is not something I want in my life. This needs 2 more cuts. I might have too many cards in my sideboard for control. How many creatures is this? This is 26 creatures. I don't think I want to go down more creatures than this. I think it's one of these pieces of top end that I get rid of. Probably Vivian. Probably Vivian. And if I'm bringing in Gruesome Menagerie, I want to keep the Kumena speakers in, actually. Let's cut the Deeproot Elite, because this card encourages me to overextend. For the record, my getting annoyed with players who are like yelling things at me to do, I like having discussions. I like people bringing up good points and encouraging a discussion. People just yelling at me what to do without telling me why we should do those things, though, isn't that. That's just frustrating and annoying. I guess they do sometimes play Niv Mizzet. Not all of them play it. Allie's build's really greedy and plays it. So maybe. And killing Chromatic Lantern's like not bad either. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. It's pretty reasonable. I think I want to Duress on 2 to try and take Chromatic Launcher before they can play it. This actually incentivizes me to not Duress on 2 here, because this way I curve out better, because I can go Silvergill Adept into Duress plus 2-drop next turn. I think this is right, since I hit another 2. Yeah, pressuring them is pretty important too, for sure. The Marare Conjecture. All right. This is just pretty easy ritualist. Maybe I'm supposed to attack. I think I'm actually supposed to attack first there. So if I attack before playing the Duress, my opponent would likely not use a removal spell. They'd like take the hit and then plan to ritual of me next turn. But because they know the Soot is gone, they now use the removal spell before they take the damage. So I think because of the way I sequenced my Duress there, I missed out on points of damage. Yeah, the pirate deck is really good against Amulet. Like, to an absurd degree. Get in my free point here. This is not Spicy Tuna. This is Sultai Merfolk. It's been a bit hot minute since we played Pirates. It's a sweet deck. All right, so do I want to trade my 4/3 for 4 points of damage? I don't think so. I think next turn we'll probably ship with everything. They also have Cast Down in hand, so I'll donate for mine 1 4-color control league. Will do, Larynx. Thanks for the support. I appreciate the generosity. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that jazz. Land. Ding, ding, ding. So I get to do this. I get to do this. All right. Attack for 1 free point here. And then next turn we'll probably start smacking with everything. I wonder if I'm supposed to leave Hostage Taker in just because Jiaosu is such a brick wall. It's possible. I don't know what I'd cut exactly, though. What are you thinking about, like, casting this down? Poke. they're playing a pseudo real deck, Burgle. They're playing an Ollie Brew. So their deck plays a card that lets their mana ramp up. So this card turns into this deck pays the kicker cost very reasonably. A lot of the time. Was that a good one? If so, why? Please explain. Do I put counters on my Merfolk or do I draw cards? God, who am I talking to? Of course I just draw cards. Cancel. This card's pretty okay. So he taps 5 to put a 1 counter on every Merfolk I control. Taps 3 to put 1/1 counters on. So this will lock out my single attackers. Wow, that was a good draw. All right. All right. All right, fine. Now we're super glad to have drawn a bunch of cards, huh? All right. Continue. Fine Finality continuing to be excellent. This deck is just one big rerun to Finding Nemo. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little fishies, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little fishies, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little fishies. Do 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 do. That's unfortunate, because it lets them cast Barari Conjecture. Declan often asks me to stop singing, actually, believe it or not. I boarded my hostage takers out, which I'm not sure if it's correct or not. Unfortunately, we generated a lot of card advantage this game, but unfortunately most of it was lands, so I don't think we're going to be able to power through what they have going on here. The traditional Magic is the best of 3. This is probably going to pick Vraska's Contempt back up, which will exile this. Yep. We're not out of this game just yet. Like, we've got Gruesome Menageries and more Fine Finalities in our deck, so. I think especially seeing this Barari Conjecture, I'm going to get Vivian in my deck for the next game. Need to figure out what exactly I want to cut, but I think that's a card I want access to. Yeah, so we played, again, this is one of the many decks we've played a bunch of times before. Check out the website, all that jazz. We played the make a whatever card before, and it just wasn't, it was worse than the other pieces of card advantage that we had. So it was like worse than Gruesome Menagerie and worse than Fine Finality and worse than Vivian Reed, as far as like that effect goes. Maybe I don't want to negate in this matchup. Just trim 1. This is 25 Merfolk. That's probably fine. Let's do this. I think the adaptability actually seems really good. The 4-mana Merfolk with Adapt sounds really sweet. That's what I'm excited to play with. It'll be likely be a good addition to this archetype. Seems very reasonable. It's like boop, boop, boop. 1, 2, 3. Vivian reads really good because in addition to generating card advantage for you, the control decks in this format tend to lean on artifacts, enchantments, and flying creatures as their ways to interact with people. So it is an answer that's also card advantage. That one can stay right there. That's our first anti-sweeper draw. Yeah, I think support spells will be useful for them as well, but I think a new body won't hurt. Like, I agree. I don't think that, like, we're not like sitting here going, I really need a new support spell, but I think like it's a card that you'll be happy to play. Legacy League actually went really well this morning. We cast a lot of sweet planeswalkers and beat people up. It was a lot of fun. If you are a fan of Legacy on occasion, you'll definitely want to go back and watch the Mardu control deck from this morning. Deal. So they're sequencing that way because they want to deny me the ability to draw a card and do this. And then because they were trying to deny me that, oh geez, did I tap wrong? No, I was the only way I could tap right because these are my only green sources. Untap plan, please. Untap plan, please. I just do this. Like reassemble. Yeah, just in my experience, the cards that beat you out of the control decks are the sweepers, and like playing a card like Deeproot Water plays into the sweepers, whereas playing cards like Finality and Gruesome Menagerie allow you to play around the sweepers. They let you recover after the sweepers happen, basically. Will do, Jat. Thanks for the support. Do you have another sweeper? We already have cards to play around the sweepers, relatively absolute. We have Gruesome Menageries and we have Finalities. I'm actually shuffling. I've got a set of basic land altars from Hurly Burly Studios that we added as a sponsor. They're just like sitting here on my desk, so I'm just like sitting here shuffling them. Lands will be good at some point. Hopefully we can grind them out. They left another card on top of their deck here, which is kind of scary. Yeah, right, we flooded a little bit last game. This game we're on 4 lands and 17 cards. You know, it's just like how Magic goes sometimes, right? Yeah, in general, Screw beats Flood, but our opponent, like, isn't really flooded. Yeah, they have a pretty good balance of stuff so far. Ding, ding, ding. All right, so they took away my Merfolk that draws cards. Now my only option is smashing, so smash. Okay, play my next Ursa card advantage. Thanks for the bits early.
Makes me stronger. No one knows the wilds like I do.
I think I'd rather have a card that draws a card. And like, obviously Jade like could draw cards, but Silvergill guarantees draw cards. Actually, I'm probably supposed to take the Jadelight because I don't have a 3-drop in my bin yet. Yeah, I should take the Jadelight because I don't currently have a 3 in my bin for this Gruesome Menagerie. I didn't kill the map because if I targeted the map, they would activate it in response and flip it into a land. And once it's a land, it's no longer a legal target for Vivian's activation. They only have 2 cards in hand, but the treasure map is like 3 cards on board. So that's going to get back their Contempt tier, which is going to get rid of Vivian. Next turn, they're going to get back a Ritual of Soot. Them burning a treasure to cast the Conjecture is like good-ish for us because it's basically them putting themselves down a card. So I expect I'm getting swept next turn. So the question is, what do I want to do with this Find Finality? I think I want to cast the Find Finality. I think I want to cast the Find and pick back up Branchwalker plus the Mistbinder here. And then next turn I'll just go triple 2-drop after they sweep me. The 4-drop Merfolk that I mentioned out of the new set that got spoiled so far in Simic is also going to be good in this deck because a 4-drop is a card that won't die to Ritual of Soot, which is a big deal. And they hit Jiaosu. Looks like they hit Jiaosu, which is probably means we're dead. Yep. Do this, reveal this. We do have Finality in our deck, that's true. I have 2 copies of that left over. I mean, all right. I get to put this into play, and like if they want a Ritualist set now, it kills their tokens too. Like. Do I play another Merfolk out here? I think so. Yeah, Mistbinder gives me better blockers. So all their spells are doubled here, so if they have spot removal spells, we're in trouble. think this means we're just dead because they had the contempt here. Yeah, that was close. Need to have things. Probably needed to hit our 5th land a little bit sooner that game to be in it. Enjoy your content. Keep dishing out the quality, man. Mandios, thank you for the 2-month resub. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again this month. I appreciate it. Yeah, they all have menace as well. That's true. So actually just dead. It seems not amazing, but it's definitely a keep. Can you be constructive and specific instead of using generic buzzwords like that, Genesis? So like, instead of saying, shouldn't we be trying to race here, could you pick out specific instances where you think a line was incorrect that let me be more aggressive than I was otherwise being? Because not being specific isn't really helpful, because like, sure, you could say generically, their deck has better late game than ours, so we should try and be more aggressive, but how do I do that? The hows and the whys are helpful, using buzzwords is just annoying. Wow, this is a good start out of them. I agree with you that in general we want to be aggressive, but I also don't think I took lines at different... I also don't think we took lines at various points that like we had lines available to us at different points to allow us to be more aggressive than I otherwise was. Yeah, they're gonna get going here before we get to Finality, unfortunately. Again, specific instances. And I know, I get that it's hard to talk about things when the game is past, so like again, just don't bring it up then. But if you can't talk about specifics, you're not being helpful, you're just being condescending. I don't think we're gonna be able to live to get to that one. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, if they didn't have the second removal spell and I would have been able to have a blocker there, we might have been okay. But like, or if I would have been on the play, right? Like if I'd have been on the play this game, I'd be able to Finality before this pops off. But because they're gonna be able to pop this off before I do anything. Man, the hits just keep coming. Am I dead on board? Am I dead on board? I don't... Alright, now we're probably dead on board. Just actually every bit of the buffalo. And now this lives through the Finality. Sometimes you just get run over. I'm really glad that this is a best of 3 game and not a best of 1. So that way my opponent and I get to play again here instead of just like losing to their nut draw and then being done with the match. That's why best of 3 is great. Do I want Hostage Taker in this matchup? I think I want my extra Wildgrowth Walkers. Deeproot Elite is probably reasonable because it can stack up counters on my unblockable creatures. Hey, penance for managing to get timed out while explicitly... For managing to get timed out without explicitly asking for it. Thank you for the biddies, MWLX. Thanks for taking it in stride. I was a little tilted this morning playing Modern, which is why we switched to Arena early. I'm not sure if the Taker's worth it. I guess sometimes they have like high quality things like, actually they usually have Tristani in their deck, which makes this card really bad, right? So I probably don't want this against the Tristani deck. I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut the Hostage Takers and bring in the extra Wildgrowth Walkers to buffer. Negate could be okay. I could see Negate being fine. I'm not a big fan of Duress in this matchup. Their hand just gets empty too quickly. And we've been playing Arena for almost an hour. Didn't they have a blocker though, Genesis? Like I'm trying to remember the game state at this point, because in a game that's gone, but I'm pretty sure they had a blocker, right? So like tapping my things wasn't 9 points of damage. I have to like attack into a Joustu and like other stuff. Maybe they didn't have a blocker. That one's gonna stay there since I have Wildgrowth Walker in play. Attack with this since I have a 3/2 to trade with this if they want to. So this deck doesn't have enough black sources in the mana base to cast a card like Golden Demise consistently. So if you're not familiar with building mana bases in Magic the Gathering, I'd recommend taking a look at this article by Frank Karsten. It goes into some depth on the mathematics of how many colored sources your deck should have and stuff. It's a very, very good read if you're not familiar. Yeah, we might live to get to Finality this game, so that sounds nice. Hey, Romeo. Thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. That's a big in. I'm going to play this out to try and hit my 6 land guaranteed. Like, this getting swept away by the Finality feels a little bit bad, but, like, it also drew a card, so it's, like, not that big of a deal. They have another Loxodon? Do I just wait? I think I just wait. I think they have a March, actually. I think that paused account was a March. Right. March is an instant because it's pushed. Alright, land, flower, and we'll be dead. Otherwise, we might have a shot. Did not have Splinter Twin. God bless. Goodbye, friends. So they have a health total advantage here, but they only have 3 cards, and we have 4 cards, and our cards are all pretty good to be fair here. So, deal. Getting to play a sweeper in our creature deck is just so unbelievably good. I just can't even put into words how good getting to play a sweeper in our creature deck is, because like it's not a sweeper when we don't want it to be. I'll take my 2-for-1s, please. All right. Stay right there. It's compensating for the first game, right? Like they had the nuts in the first game, and like now we have this. Now I think I'd rather draw a card than like get something that's a little bit bigger, because like I get to like do this into this. Like I'm gonna make this Silvergill Adept real big real fast. Start stacking the rest of these counters in the Mist-Cloak. I'm excited for Breeding Pool and Simic cards. To go ahead and stack up counters on my unblockable Merfolk now. Yep. Goes the tokens player. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Beep beep biddy do. Playing these games kind of makes me want another Kumena in my deck. This card's really good. I might want a third copy. He does slap. He does definitely slaps. Sure. Fish that draw cards and 6 mana sweepers. Let's try not to die before we get to 6. Yep, yeah, the numbers go up pretty quick when we stop playing Magic Online. I'm aware of that. That's why there's more arena time on my schedule, less Magic Online. Yay! Fish that draw cards. Yay! Fish that draw cards. And a man and a shark love each other very much. I would like to block. When a man loves a shark. Do 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 do. I think I'm gonna go Silvergill plus Kumena here, just so like I have a 2/2 to block their 1/1s. And then ideally I'm not playing anything else out until after I pull the trigger on this first Finality. I'd actually buy some tickets from you, Jat. So if you're looking to sell some tickets, hit me up and I'll message you back today when I'm done streaming. Kumena is actually a great draw, right? Because this is a card that lives through my Finality, and it blocks and it draws cards. Yeah, there should probably be a third copy of this in here. Hey, Cooperman, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday wherever you're out in the world. They have a Conclave Tribunal. Super unfortunate. Yeah, there's a good chance this is another game where we die just before we get to Finality. They're gonna get another attack step next turn, so I think I'm supposed to... Oh, wait. Oh, this is... Oh, I have an island, so I could do this here, and I could do this here, and then I'm taking 7-11, and the Kumena speaker is gonna live. Stream Decker appears to be working. Yeah, Stream Decker looks good here. All right, so I think I can live through this next turn, right? Which means I can get to Finality. So I want to do this. And then I can do this, reveal this. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have played my land. Because if I drew a shock land there, I'd have to hurt myself for it. Is that lethal? This is one short of lethal, right? So I can do this and take 8, go to 1. And then I need to just draw an untapped land here. Right? Yeah. Alright, untapped land. One time, dealer. One time, dealer. Oh, God. That's a tilt. Man, we were so close. I think we'd have stabilized and won this game too if we'd have hit there, because they have like one card left and we'd have just like had a 5/5 left over because this would live through the Finality. Yeah, good game. Close set. Close set. Made a good draw on the play there too. Damn. And that, I feel like those two games are such good examples. Like, people often come in and they ask, like, well, what's your record with the deck? And it's like, well, we actually are 0-2 with this deck so far today, but like both the matches we lost were like game 3s where like there's this really small percentage point thing where instead of losing a close game, we win by a large margin. Which is why again, the hows and whys are really more important than everything else. It's very, very possible to like have a deck that's very reasonable and not win any matches in Magic. That's just how the game goes sometimes. And seems very reasonable for us. Hey, Cooperman, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday wherever you're at. So that's fair. If I play the Silvergill first, I could have played the Jadelight Ranger to hit. So my line of thinking was I wanted to play the Silvergill second so I could crank my creature up to a 5/5 with the Finality. But you're right, in the event of hitting an Explorer creature like I did, I could have given myself a better chance to hit the land. Yeah, the elephant would have died because it was getting buffed by Tristani. What do I want to play here first? Well, like, which 2-drop I play has a lot of different things going on for it here since I have this. I guess I don't have any Explore creatures in my hand. I'm going to lead on Deeproot so I can start stacking stuff up. best of 5, best of 7, best of 9. Obviously, the more games of Magic you play, the less variance there is, but you hit diminishing returns at a certain point, and there's a much bigger difference between best of 1 and best of 3 than there is between best of 3 and best of 5, because between best of 1 and best of 3, you add the ability to sideboard and make intelligent mulliganing decisions, which impacts the game a good deal, potentially. All right, so since I drew Jadelight, I'm gonna go ahead and attack with this, and then play Wildgrowth Walker, and then I can Jadelight next turn, make my creatures huge. Yes, player fatigue is a real thing. That's a great way to look at it, RXX. Best of 1 to best of 3 is 300% more magic, and best of 3 to best of 5 is 66% more magic. Yay, numbers! I think I'm just gonna put this on Jadelight, make her huge. 200% more, yes, there you go. Numbers that are correct are better than numbers that aren't correct. So ideally, when I'm playing more creatures out here and I'm using my Deeproot Elite triggers, I want to try and get as many of my creatures as possible above the 4 toughness line, so that way my opponent can't Finality to clear my entire board. All right, so what's my best way to be aggressive here? They have a trophy, which means I'm probably losing this next turn. I could like Deeproot Elite plus Silvergill Adept and stack mad counters on this Jadelight Ranger, which I kind of like. So this adds 1 counter and this adds 2, which would make this a 7/6, which kind of pulls off of here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I wanna get this Jadelight bigger than a Finality. I'm not gonna attack with the Jadelight this turn though, because I really don't want to trade my Jadelight for these two, because they just double block, and I'm not happy trading my 7/6 for 2/3/2s here. No, that's not true. Greed is good. So three games to 5 is a 66% increase. You're playing 2/3 more games potentially, whereas 1 to 3 is a larger percentage increase. Much larger. 2 games is 100% more games than 1 game. Afternoon Brave Earth. Journey to Eternity. Into Plague Crafter. Okay, interesting. I don't know how we're gonna grind through that one. think I'm gonna start powering up another creature here. Probably a Deeproot Elite. They have double trophy in hand, which makes things kind of difficult. Maybe I'm supposed to put those counters on my Branchwalkers so they don't have an incentive to kill my Deeproot Elite, which are making my creatures bigger. And I'm at a high enough health total that they can't just be needlessly attacking their creatures in, because I can just not block so they can't get them back with the Journey to Eternity. Show you the one you know about from the Explore trigger. I'm gonna start stacking up this Branchwalker. Ooh, that's a really good one. That one's gonna demand a thing from them because it's unblockable. This one will get out of range of Finality right away here. So I'm gonna put it up to a 5 with this Merfolk Branchwalker. And then that's gonna eat one of their 2 Assassin's trophies, which is good for us. That's probably good, right? I'm gonna leave that there because then, like, I play this, it adds 2, and then each of these add 3 counters next turn. And then next turn's gonna be the smush turn. We'll go Deeproot into double Mistbinder. I'm gonna decline to get a land here. I'd rather keep the Deeproot on top of my deck. Wow. Okay, sure. All right, so Deeproot. I don't know. I'm gonna let them figure it out this turn. What's the saying? Math is for blockers. They're dead if they don't have a removal spell, right? They block 9, 8, 6. They take 15, 17. So they are dead. Sorry, I counted. I'm a liar. I counted it. So they're dead if they don't have a Doomblade. These are the 3 biggest, and then they're taking 17 here from these 4. They didn't have any creatures in their graveyard. They did not have creatures in their graveyard, for people wondering why they did what they did there. Is Wildgrowth Walker actually good here? Is Wildgrowth Walker actually good in this matchup? I almost feel like it's not, right? I think I'd rather have a couple of cast downs. Do I want Gruesome Menagerie? Probably not. I think just the vines are probably enough. I can see Vivian Reed being okay as just a way to just like bury them in cards. Well, I wonder if Gruesome or Vivian are better than the Hostage Taker, because Hostage Taker is like really kind of slow and clunky. Like this has to get to like 6 to be useful a lot of the time. Menagerie lets me make like some aggressive trades. This card just like has so many cards. Can be hard to protect though sometimes. I think I want the Menageries. That's true. Vivian does kill Journey, which can be annoying. I'm gonna bring in Vivian. I think the idea that they're not always gonna be able to kill their thing right away is good. Seems fine. Not amazing, but fine. This hand does run the danger of missing land drops though, right? I don't have any of my cards that draw cards or explore here. Duress versus Thought Erasure. 1 mana versus 2 is a pretty big deal. We also have, you know, basic forests and unclaimed territories in our deck, which don't cast half of Thought Erasure. Thanks much for providing great videos and also for having an understanding of your customers. Thank you, Mage of Dancing Dragons. I appreciate the 2 months of support. Welcome back. I think I just go Mistbinder plus tapped land here. What are the odds they explore next turn? High. They might not explore twice. If they have Jadelight Ranger, we're going to be in trouble here. Yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to keep up with this. This one might just be a runaway here on us. Yeah. Let's move along to the next one. It's possible that only 2 cast downs are not enough in this deck, and I want some more actual removal spells for the sideboard. Have more ways to kill things like Wildgrowth Walker when we're on the draw and need to. Cast down's also very good against the Drake stack. It seems fine. Not amazing, but fine. When you have the combo, as I like to call it, the Wildgrowth Walker into Jadelight, it's very, very good. If they only had 1 Wildgrowth there, we might have been okay. Wow, they have Land War Elves in their deck. I'm actually kind of surprised. We played 2 pretty long games without them having that card. Give him a little love tap there. No, this is game 3. We played a long game 1 and then a quick game 2. Alright, well, I mean, at least we don't have to draw through those lands now, I guess. Good trade for us there. A 3/3 unblockable left over. 2/2 unblockable. Looking for one of our sources of card advantage at this point. Either a fine Finality or something like a Vivian Reed. Kinda wish we had Gruesome Menagerie in our deck right now, huh? Maybe I'm just supposed to go full grind post board in a matchup like this. Oh, magic. Probably too far gone at this point. Yep. Well, if we draw a Finality of our own, we could use it to clear the board here. So I guess we'll play to that out. Morning, Evars. Afternoon, I suppose. It's noon 15 here in Cornfield Land. Time flies when you're playing video games, I suppose. I'll take one draw step at a Finality here. Who's the weasel? How are we doing, folks? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. If you're a new viewer, thanks for dropping in. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Glad I didn't scare you away. I stream Magic full-time. I'm here 30, 40, 50 hours a week. We play a ton of Standard here on Magic Arena. I also play a ton of some Modern and Legacy on Magic Online. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. By subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars. Using code Hoagland at bit.ly/Hooglebar, you can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. HurlyBurlyStudio.com does wonderful professional quality Magic the Gathering altars. Using code Jeff10 at HurlyBurlyStudios.com, you can save 10% on all of your custom orders there with them. And you might hear my shuffling deck going here. My shuffling deck is protected by none other than my BCW Elite Guard sleeves. Using code JeffHolidayStream at bit.ly/BCW sale, you can save 20% on all of your purchase of sleeves, deck box, and all sorts of other great accessories there with them. Let's dive into one more match here with the Merfolk. Hopefully we can have a game 3 break our way here before we wrap up this segment. Nah, I never really got into Commander. Commander's really more of a casual format overall. And like when I sit down to play casual games, usually we just play board games rather than playing Magic. Playing Magic casually is very expensive. It's hard to talk a lot of people into doing all that. And the other thing that's tough about Commander from my perspective is it's tough to you almost have to have house rules for Commander, right? Because otherwise you're just wildly different power levels between the decks. Having one person bring their Commander deck doesn't necessarily mean it's going to generate good games of Magic against someone else's random Commander deck. Need to get rid of these bits. Thanks for the biddies, Zessie. Cypher Dav, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Alright, I'm gonna try and get a good game for the last one with the Merfolk deck. I'm gonna not sit here and play against the game 1, turn 2, my deck gets turned off. What is this, modern? I thought we were done playing modern for the day. Thought we were moving on to playing other formats like standard. Sideboard card in the main deck? What is this nonsense? Now, Takali Honor Guard's really good right now. I think it's perfectly fine against like the mono red deck a lot of the time, and it's like good against random things like this too, in addition to obviously being great against black green. So do I play this on 1 and to play this probably and just like hope to draw a shock land? It's annoying that I'm not guaranteed to play a 2-drop on 2 though. Evolving Wild, some kind of Sultai or 3-color deck maybe? Yep. I think I'm gonna play this so I can start stacking counters up on my unblockable dork here. Some kind of big green black deck maybe. Elvish Rejuvenator's a Sultai, okay. The blue source doesn't surprise me considering that my opponent's deck they had, what's it called in it? They had, struggling to make my words make sense. They had Evolving Wilds in their deck, so likely had a 3rd color. Yeah, it could be some kind of Muldrotha deck. Our deck's, like, not too concerned about a card like Muldrotha, right? Like, our plan for that is just, like, go under them, basically. Give them the beat down before they can get set up. I hear that a lot from Commander players. It's fun if you have 12 decks of varying power levels so you can play with anyone. Yeah. I feel like the way I would be interested in playing Commander if I ever did it was like, it would have to be like a board game setup, basically. Like somebody's like, all right, I have these 6 Commander decks that you can pick from, and they're all well balanced against each other to create good games of Magic, where like everybody gets to actually play. Well, I think our plan here is stack up old Misty. Alright, another Deeproot Elite plays into the stack up old Misty plan. Riley Reynolds, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. If you're having a good Friday wherever you're at, thanks for the support.
Balance comes.
I mean, our deck's not a Bogle's deck. Like they can interact with my creature. So I want to get this bigger than a 4/4, so that way I can. Oh, I should have played this, right? Because now I don't have a Merfolk in my hand to play it with. All right, maybe all of our eggs shouldn't have gone into this basket. We'll never know though, really. Nah, I think killing it there, I think hitting them to 1 there is fine with these Fine Finalities in my hand. So, like, my Fine Finalities get to pick this Mist-Cloak back up, and then it threatens to be lethal each time. And I should actually start stacking my counters on other things at this point to get them out of Fine Finality range, I think. Or get them out of Finality range explicitly, I think. So I'm gonna get Mistbinder to 5 and get Jadelight to 5. Because this is lethal on its own. There's really no reason to stack bigger there, I don't think. I guess this lets them gain life, but they can only play 1 land per turn. Wow! Super punished. Woof. Didn't play around deadweight. I guess I should too, right? Because if they're a Muldrotha deck. Yeah, finality attack with my thing's gonna be lethal too. I'll have 2 lethal attackers actually, right? Having sweepers in our creature deck is so great. I didn't have 6 mana, Tom. This is not a Wildgrowth Walker matchup. I'm just gonna bring in a couple of cast downs. I'm actually gonna bring in all the grind. They didn't seem like they were a Wildgrowth Walker deck, so I'm just gonna bring in these pieces at top end, cut the Hostage Shaker in my walkers. Oh, you're right. I had a 4/3, right? Yeah, that's fair. Some mulligans are easy. It's a little bit of a speculative keep, but I'm gonna keep it. If we hit our second land, Branchwalker plus Silvergill find us more after that. And again, this is a hand where we could definitely brick and die, but I think it's correct to keep on average. One of the most difficult things to learn to recognize about games with percentage plays like Magic is like when you can make the right one and still lose. Yep. It's fine. That's why we get to play best of 3. Get to reduce the variance from mulligans and resources. Sweet, sweet variance reduction. Take 1 more shot at a land here before we pack it in. Who's the weasel? On hands like this, the question you want to ask yourself is, what's more likely to happen? Are you more likely to win with a 5-card hand, or are you more likely to hit a land by turn 2 with 2 draws and a scry? And like, you're pretty likely to hit a land with 2 draws and a scry. Competitive constructed doesn't exist anymore. This is the traditional constructed queue. We've rebranded it to traditional. Mana's a little bit awkward here, but I got some like aggressive fishies on the play. So I'll lead on Kumena here because they're not going to have a blocker on 1. So I can go tap land, Mist-Cloak, attack for 2 on 2. I appreciate you, Button. I appreciate your Reddit post letting them know that the shuffler is obviously broken. The only solution here, clearly. Only possible outcome. Shuffler's busted. This isn't the ladder, look, no numbers. This is a completely unranked queue where the only prizes I'm capable of getting are daily quests. I should wait to do this, because if I do it right now, they can attack me for one. This card's really annoying. I really like to draw a Vivian. Alright, there's a 5th land. Let's draw a Vivian so we can shoot this here, hopefully. Ayo! Magic's a tough game, chat. It's really difficult. And if you're not as skilled as I am, you're gonna have a hard time with it. Never didn't have it. Nothing but professionalism on this stream. You see, chat, the shuffler is so broken, I've hacked into Magic Arena, so it gives me exactly what I want when I ask for it. It's so broken, I have hacked it with my immense computer skills. That's why I use a Linux computer, so I can hack the Magic Arena shuffler, obviously.
My newest friend.
It's the only possible outcome. Do I want a finality here? Why is the finality necessary? Like, makes this a 4/6, I guess. Oh, and draw a card. Okay, I get you now. I definitely thought this just gained life. I didn't realize this drew cards. I concur. That's weird. It's almost like reading the card explained what the card did. That's just, I'm gonna try this again in the future, I think, chat. Reading the Magic the Gathering cards seems like an exciting and interesting way to play the game. Reading the cards.
They vanish all the time.
Come to me.
More Kumena. Probably, yeah, probably. Branchwalker. Sky Guy 91, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're at. We might not be able to beat this Muldrotha at this point. Yeah, I've got 0 ways to interact with Muldrotha. We just have to go around it.
An unfortunate casualty.
Let's start with this, see where we go.
The wild.
Yeah, I boarded out Hostage Taker. I might be able to just punch through it. We might be able to just go through it. This is at 3, right? So it could destroy my unblockable. This is good because it'll let me get my Mistbinder out of dead weight range. Yeah, this is also unblockable, that's true. Woof. Alright, sometimes they want it more than you. Because now they can deadweight to kill this. Yep. Another Menagerie off the top kind of pulls us back in. Maybe. Maybe.
Being ruthless has
Card's real good once it gets going. Gonna be too much. It's a rough morning for the fish. Rough morning for the fish. Some bad beats and some decks that can grind a little bit better than us. Once the Muldrotha gets going, we just like have to be able to get under them, and they just had too many golden demises and stuff like that to be able to dig in too much. Hey, Scrubs, thanks for the 8-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. We had a cut the line for 4-color control coming up next here, so let's go ahead and let me grab a deck list for that, and we'll be